What's up, everybody, and welcome to this episode of my F1 2010 Let's Play Career Mode on Expert. I'm thinking we're at episode 10 right now. What's up, Francoise?
Contract offer. The team principal for Lotus handed it to me earlier. It'd be a good idea to look at it.
It is indeed a good idea to look at it. So Lotus offers me driver 1 contract. Saw this in the last race. What should I do? Accept it, decline. I've told you about my plan. It's either stick with Lotus or go with Williams. I'm not thinking I'm going to get the Williams contract this year. So I'm thinking I'm going to accept this one. It's driver 1. The money doesn't matter. So, well, let's look at a quick look at his standings here. Not looking too good. 33 points behind Mark Webber. Just 9 behind Vettel, so P2 is within grasp, but Webber ran away again with my P8 in Silverstone, and he got in second, I think. So Hockenheim is up for this weekend, so let's head out and race. Hockenheim's a nice track, pretty easy track as well, to be honest. The AI isn't very clever in there. Had a little R&D objective, so Lotus is doing some good R&D development throughout the season. This is for some more rear downforce. So I had a little R&D lap. I'm not going to show it to you, but yeah.
That's the end of the session. Fantastic first place in practice. Brilliant.
Practice wasn't too shabby. 1:18.733. I've done this race a couple days ago. It's not exactly fresh in my mind. I had to keep you guys waiting for a couple days for this episode. Just couldn't get around to doing the commentary thing. But here we are in Hockenheim, ready to get going for our qualifying lap. Taking a quick peek at the setup here. 3-1 wing. Don't need a lot of wing on this track. I usually put the brake balance to the front a bit. I like the understeer and under braking, I guess. Ballast slightly to the front, not too much. Suspension, not too stiff, not too high either. It's a bit bumpy at spots. That's why I didn't put it on 1-1. I felt I had better traction here. You've seen the gearing setup. As always, I always set this to fast and 3 laps. Just do 1 hot lap. Save your tires. My strategy for making setups is usually I just put the standard setup for the engineer, take the fastest one, and then tweak it to my likings. I always find that the engineer messes up the gearing. But here we go for this hot lap on the Hockenheim circuit. Flat out here, the first king to the right. Drop down 1 gear. Don't brake. Get back on the throttle as fast as you can. Don't go too wide or you lose speed. Here you brake at around the 100-meter mark. Get down to second. Try to nail that apex. Exit out wide enough, but not too wide, so you can get a good drive on this long straight heading into the hairpin. Don't be too wild on the steering here. Just ease your way to the inside. Hug that corner then and get ready for the heavy braking zone here. Brake around the 100-meter mark again. Get down to second or first. Depends on how you feel it. Easy on the throttle here. Exiting out short shift a bit so you don't have too much wheel spin. Difficult to find traction here. This is flat out, this little kink. Make sure you use the maximum of the circuits. You brake just behind that Enai commercial thingy-majingy. Here you go wide again. Just hit all these curbs as much as you can, but not too much. Very tricky corner this. You drop down 1 or 2 gears. I drop down 2 and you get back on the throttle. You don't brake. If you go too wide, you'll spin out. This one you can take in third. It's a bit of a deceptive corner. You can go faster than you would think. And watch out for the spin here. You go flat out, down to fourth. Feather the throttle all the way through here. Feather it through and back on the gas. You can go a bit faster than I did here. Didn't use all of the track, but that is our hot lap at 1:18.283. So that gives me pole position. Yep, almost a full half second ahead of Alonso. And Webber's only in 4th. So I'm thinking, hey, this has some potential here to claw myself back into WDC contender space, because 33 points behind. I'm gonna have to do some magic here to get back on Webber, but he's only 4th on the grid. That's not too bad for me. I'm hoping he's gonna lose some spots, maybe even during the race. You never know, but it's looking good. Hockenheim is a very easy track to race at. So, well, easy track. It's got one tricky corner. I mean, the hairpin's a bit tricky, but it's like any hairpin. And then there's that tricky, fast right-hander near the end. I think they call it the Parabolica as well, like they do in Monza, which is strangely enough, it's in Germany, and I don't think that's a German word. Well, maybe actually it could be a German word as well. So let's head out for the race. I think I got Alonso next to me on the grid, and as always, it's tough to get a jump start on the AI, because, well, there's some pretty good starters with the AI. I always lose a spot in the first start, but I usually get it back on the first corner. So yes, Alonso, Hamilton, Webber, and me on pole position. That's only the second pole, I think, this year, maybe the third. In any case, Monaco was pole. The other one I don't actually remember. Let's get the show on the road here. Let's see what we can cook up. All lights are on and we are go. I see Alonso is pulling up next to me, so I want to give him some room. There, you don't see his wing, but he brakes a bit early. So I managed to stick in first, and I have a huge gap to second already. They're very slow to that kink. So here I'm just smooth sailing, actually. I'm almost a full second ahead already just for that first kink. Alonso, Massa, Vettel, you see on the HUD. So this is looking good. Webber lost a spot, and you see on the mini-map, he's not really close either. You can see Alonso, Massa, Vettel. I don't know who the fifth dot is, but he's quite some distance away from P4. So this is looking good. I'm like, yeah, Webber's going to lose some points, and I just need to keep it together here and cruise to the victory, really. I mean, it's easier said than done, of course. You can't make too many mistakes. Got to stay focused. This is a tricky corner too. You see a lot of people making mistakes here. You're better off braking a bit earlier and getting a good exit rather than braking as late as you can, and then you mess up with this whole sequence. Here, it's close, but I've missed the turning point, so I have to slow down a lot so I don't get into that gravel. That gravel, once you hit a wheel on there, it's pretty much a guaranteed spin. And as always, on a track where I know the AI isn't too challenging, I'm pacing myself. I'm not trying to cork out quali lap after quali lap like I had to do in the last race in Silverstone. There I really had to gun it the whole race. Here I can race a bit more relaxed. I do have Alonso on my tail all of a sudden. Missed that turn in a bit. It's very crucial you get this turn in right of that corner. You can easily gain a couple of tenths just by that first little kink. And Vettel and Massa have switched positions, so no team orders there. Vettel's not gonna get let Webber through like he always does in this game, apparently. Seriously, man, I thought team orders were banned. What the hell is up with this? But Alonso's following fairly close, but then there's a pretty good gap to Vettel and Massa, who's has a little gap as well. But looks like he's getting past here. Hamilton. That means Webber is at the earliest in P6, so this is looking great for me. I'm in P1, Webber in P6. Alonso is not a factor in the championship yet, but you never know. He said it on Silverstone this year. Just need consistent podiums, and who knows, we might see him in contention by the end of the season. As in real life, the little charge here from Alonso in the season. Hamilton's been doing better as well these last couple races. He was nowhere to be seen in the first 8 or 9 races, but he's picking back up. And Webber, don't know what's going on with him. It doesn't seem to be working too well. Look at the gap to P3 and 4 already. Looking good for me here. Doing some good consistent lapping. And again, going too wide in that corner. It's a big shame. So my scheduled pit stop is lap 4, I think. So here I'm just gunning it, trying to get a bit of a gap going to Alonso. Always wary of the pit stop bug on the shorter race distances. 20%, you haven't seen it on Silverstone, but it happened to me on Silverstone, so I don't want this to happen again. And this chicane is pretty tricky. You'll see me taking it in first and in second. It all depends on how fast I'm coming in there and how confident I am. I'm going to hit the apex and I'm going to get a good exit out of it. It's a big key in racing as well. You can't take during a whole race every corner exactly the same way. Sometimes you're in a different line, sometimes you're fighting for position, sometimes you messed up your exit on the other corner so you can't take the exact same line. You really need to adapt how you take your corners. So sometimes you're going to take this one in 5th, sometimes in 6th, sometimes even in 4th if you go way too wide. Here's the same thing. Sometimes you need to take it in 2nd when you miss your braking point a little bit. So adaptation, constant adaptation is the key. You can't just learn by heart the track and take the corners the same time every single time. It would be ideal if you could do that, but that's just not realistic. Sometimes, if you're fighting for position, you can't always get the ideal line. You need to hit it up the inside. That was a good way to take this corner, so in lap 4 I finally do it. Almost have a full second on Alonso, almost 3 full seconds on Vettel, so this is not looking too bad here, pit stop wise. And this exciting weekend, all these car launches. There's the new Renault, which got launched, which is beautiful livery, and then the Total sponsoring had to fuck it up completely with adding the red to the black and gold. Oh man, it's a perfect example of how to destroy a perfectly good-looking livery. Oh damn, it's such a missed opportunity. Like, I guess Total is just too big of a sponsor for Renault to pass up on that. They must have insisted they wanted their red in there. There's the new Lotus, which looks like a corker. I'm thinking Lotus is gonna make a big step ahead in the grid this year. So it's gonna be fun next year, starting in a Lotus. But if they really are as good as I would think they are, of course you can't tell from just looking at a car. But you know, just figuring it out. They have a Renault engine, they have Red Bull gearboxes and all that jazz. They just don't have the curse, so that might be a disadvantage to them. But I'm thinking they're going to be good. So here we're running into the pit lane, going as fast as I can without hitting that pit lane limiter. Well, hitting the limiter, but not hitting the line too fast. I did it okay, broke a bit too early than I should have. I saw Alonso coming in behind me. And there we go, hoping for a good pit stop. 4.4. Well, could be fast to Lotus, guys. I'm going to ask him to train a bit more. So here I am, ending up in P6, not crossing the white line, and still someone hits me. My teammate, well, look at that. You would think your teammate would, you know, not pass you when you're, like, fighting for the championship and shit. You know, my teammate Truly, who still has to do his pit stop, who has no hope in hell of getting points. He's you look at him defending his position and shit. Just let me through, you idiot. Look, he's pushing on the inside and stuff. I mean, code this better, man. I want my teammate to leave me room when I'm in occasions like that. Got past him on the chicane in the end, and here's De La Rosa trying to make a move on him. Boom! Bone crunching move on De La Rosa. I have no clue, seriously no clue, how I avoided getting a penalty on that one. Maybe De La Rosa got it, because he did slow down a lot. I have no clue how I didn't get a penalty or a damaged wing. You could see particles flying off, but it doesn't look like my wing is damaged. So, yeah, I think I'm the luckiest bastard ever. This is like the second or third crunching running I have with some people. And haven't gotten a penalty yet this year, so seriously one of the luckiest dudes alive. This is all on expert mode, so I'm guessing the damages are set to full and the rules are set to realistic. So I don't know, maybe it's judged it was De La Rosa's fault. So I'm coming out of the pits, this is going to be tight. Hamilton's on the inside, need to leave him room. We're side by side exiting out here, again leaving him some room. And I have him on my side. I see that little arrow on the right, so this is going to be crucial. I need to get the braking absolutely right here if I want to retain my first spot here. Hamilton pitted a lap later, taking the inside line so I can protect. And it looks like I'm going to get away with it. Yes, I kept him behind. This was really where I really needed to keep Hamilton behind me. That was that exit on that chicane. So I took the inside defensive line, kept them behind me, and I'm pretty ecstatic about this now. I was a bit worried when I saw Hamilton, who was at least 4 seconds or something behind when I started my pit stop. Lost a lot of time though, thanks to my pro teammate Truly blocking me, and then that bone crunch and running with De La Rosa. Seriously, I'm the luckiest bastard ever. No idea how I got away with that without damage or penalties. It's just I really didn't expect him to be so slow in that corner. They're not that slow in that corner. And then De La Rosa just brake tests me. Like I said, maybe De La Rosa's getting a penalty, but it doesn't look like it. He seems to be still running in third. So he's not coming in the pits now in any case. Of course, he was one of the prime runners. But he's going to come in later in any case. Then I don't think the AI get any penalties in this game. Taking a quick sip here. That would be more realistic, of course. Because, I mean, yeah, I run into the back of him, but he did some pretty funky braking there. I mean, he was fighting for position, so I can't tell him to move over. He was fighting for position, but, you know, he was a pit stop down. But, you know, especially the aggravating thing was that run, well, not running with Truly, but lost at least half a second trying to get past him. And had to do some risky moves on that hairpin to get past Truly. Very annoying that at least your teammate doesn't give you room in situations like this. Doesn't give you room in qualifying either. He's often the one I don't know how or why, but his teammate is often the one who ruins your hot laps. He's always on track when you are for some reason. So, strange coding. But okay, we're on lap 7 of 13, and we're trying to cruise to the win here. Still no view of Webber. There's Hamilton, Alonso in 4th. De La Rosa's still going to pit, so he's going to drop out of that. I cut it just a bit too much. You need to be really, really careful about. You need to cut it as much as you can, but of course not too much here. I missed my braking point, and you see me adapting. I don't get on the throttle as early. Just let it run a bit wider without steering in, or that will cause you to spin out. So it's sometimes better to lose some time in a corner by going a bit wider, getting on the throttle a bit later, rather than spinning out and losing a lot more time, obviously. So De La Rosa is still on the track, apparently. I'm really wondering where Webber is at this point. Vettel should definitely be ahead of him. He had quite a gap. He had at least a second to Hamilton, but Vettel disappeared from our radar. He was ahead of Hamilton before the pit stops. Alonso was chasing me, but Hamilton somehow jumped him by going that extra lap longer. I must have been a corker of a lap, eh? It's a bit funky sometimes, these lap times I pull out of their asses. We're 2.5 seconds ahead of Hamilton, 5.6 ahead of De La Rosa spinning, and 8 seconds ahead of Alonso. So as long as I keep the car on the track, I'm pretty much golden for the race win here and clawing myself back into contention. And really, I'm keeping an eye on that HUD, seeing where I can see Webber. So, Rob, hey, would you care to tell me where my main championship rival is at in the track? Rob, wake up! Tell me something, man. Tell me something, Rob. Oh, race engineer. You should know that, I'm fighting for the WEC, and I'm 33 points behind Webber, so I kind of like to know where Webber is, not just the top 4. And De La Rosa I don't really care about because I know he's going to pit, so give me the guys I'm actually racing against. Alright, TM, paying attention for 2011, please. That would be awesome. Now, really thirsty today, so sorry for the little pauses. And this is a nice section. This corner, it took me a while to figure out how to take it, but once you get the flow going, it's a really nice one. You have bad traction here, so you see me short shifting from 4th to 5th. On the primes and on the heavier car, I do take the corners a bit differently, and there I can make a complete cock-up of that corner, but still manage to stay ahead of Hamilton. Here, I'm not gunning for fastest laps. I'm really just gunning to keep Hamilton at a fairly comfortable distance, which is what he's at now, and not make any mistakes. So I'm not really riding on the limit. I'm just trying to get the car home safely. And still De La Rosa's in. Still, again, I cut that corner. It's hard to get that corner. There's De La Rosa, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, P5 Webber. Rob, did you actually listen to me? Did you listen to me? Seriously? Nice, thank you, Rob. But how we got to P4, I don't know, because Massa was ahead of him, Vettel was ahead of him, and he jumped everybody and their mama in the pit stops again. So seriously, man, unfair competition, team orders, and not only from Vettel, but teams Massa's helping him too. Looks like Massa still has traumas from Hockenheim this year, thinking everybody and their mama is faster than him. So Webber in P4, it's better than P2, of course. I'm still going to grab some points on him, but not as much as I would have pleased. Webber is just, damn, he's really awesome this season for me, in my season. So I'm really hoping Webber hits a slump sometime this year, so I can, really get into contention, because I've constantly been at least 20 points behind, at some point even 50 points behind or something. But we all know Webber, he might just cock up in the last 4 races, plow his car into the wall in Korea, and then go mountain biking and break his shoulder, and then not tell anybody. But he says his performance wasn't affected, but either he was choking, it's possible. But look at his abysmal performance in Abu Dhabi, qualified, 6th? And then a race where he was completely anonymous. It wasn't even close to Alonso. He spent the whole race behind him, but at 2-3 seconds, he never even got close to Alonso. He didn't even try to pass Alonso. It's like he just gave up. Maybe there's some veiled team orders in Vettel's favor there. It's possible on the Red Bull, because it was a strange strategy. They were really banking on Alonso covering for Webber and not for Vettel. Really rookie mistake too by Domenicali on the Ferrari part in Abu Dhabi. That's all gone now. New season's getting on their way. Jesus, I am excited. Look at all these car launches yesterday and today, and then there's going to be the first test day in Valencia on Tuesday. So this is going to be freaking awesome. I can't wait to see the performance of these cars. See how they look. Like I said, the Lotus looks totally badass. Go look for pics of that. It looks really nice. The Renault looks badass except for that total signing. The Ferrari, it's a Ferrari. It always looks good, but nothing too spectacular on it. So yeah, definitely looking forward to this new season. I'm really itching. We're still, what is it, 40-some days away from the first race. But oh my god, it's going to be awesome. So Alonso just posted the fastest lap. He might be, which is good for me because he has Webber behind him. But I can see on the mini-map and on the timings that Webber's quite some ways behind Alonso. So unless the game is going to cheat and help Webber out, I'm pretty sure Webber's going to get stuck in P4. Losing some time on Hamilton, but that's just because I'm driving pretty safely here. Here you see me taking it in second. If you have trouble with wheel spin coming out of this, I would recommend staying in second because you don't have to do that much throttle control from first to second or short shift. But if you're fairly confident with the throttle control, take that chicane in first. I barely ever use the first gear, but this chicane is one of them where I do use the first gear. It's just, yeah, it's just such a tight chicane, such slow through there, so it could be useful. Like even in Monaco, if you see, I barely ever use the first gear. I only use it at the Lowe's hairpin. So, but otherwise, I try to always get as high as gear as possible. Here, I almost spun out second time in 2 laps. You don't want to go too wide there because it's hard to recover a spin there because it's banking, and then I had this once in an online race, last lap, last corner there, and I went off and I lost the race win there. That was quite annoying. I was like 5 seconds ahead of P2, and I really lost it on the last lap. That was very horrible. My primes were completely worn out though there, so it was kind of to be expected. I should have just been more careful through the last corner with a 5-second gap. But here, looking good. Looks like we're cruising to the victory here, pretty much from start to finish in the lead. So very pleased with my performance here in the Hockenheim. Start to finish win. Well, I had to make up some positions. Well, not really, but Hamilton came out right next to me, came out of the pits. But some ballsy movement. Again, a phone call messing me up here. So yeah, I had to pause it and then go through. I mean, I don't know what it is with people, but they always seem to call me on the last lap. It makes me miss that corner a little bit. It's like second race in a row I get a phone call during the last lap. Like someone out there doesn't want me to win. Wasn't the same person though, so I'm gonna tone down on the conspiracy against my F1 2010 racing. Last couple of corners here. Interesting section. So here you don't want to get that curb too much or you'll have an unstable car. Here you don't want to hit the curb too much on the outside. Here again, don't go too much on the outside and cruise to the victory. Let's see some fist bumping here, man. Say hi to the pit crew. That would be cool if you had the pit crew saluting you. It's not too enthusiastic. Just a little fist. He's getting used to winning.
Congratulations, mate! That's a fantastic win! Simply fantastic! Hey, nobody expected that result.
Well, thank you, Rob. Appropriately happy.
You've moved into second position
And we're in
the
P2,
Drivers'
only
Championship.
20 points ahead of Webber, so we clawed ourselves back into contention. 13 points gain. Well, like I said, Constructors is pretty much a lost cause anyway, because Trulli is never going to pick up any points in his life. Well, not in this game, not in this season. Maybe next season. Like I said, really looking forward to how Lotus, the real Team Lotus, is going to do this year. Hit all the race objectives, of course, so this is going to help my reputation gain. So I have rep 14 here. I'm thinking I'm going to need 25 for Williams, and it's going to be slowing down my rep gain. The more you advance, the slower your rep gain goes. So I don't think I'm going to get enough reputation for a Williams drive. So, and I can't select the Williams driver as my rival. I'm only going to be able to select Red Bull and McLaren, or maybe a Ferrari. So what should I do? Should I pick up the contract with Lotus? Just post a comment, let me know. And I'm thinking I'm picking it up, but if you have good reason to tell me no, just know I'm not going to take a drive with the top seed teams because it's too easy already on Lotus. So I'm not going to take a drive with the top teams because then I'm just going to be bored out of my brains. Have I thought about winning the title? Well, shit, yeah. Huh. But let's stay cool. I don't want to get the team too happy. Well, duh, you idiot bitch. Of course a win helps the championship. So here, you know, by the mid-season, they start asking you for a drive. And for people struggling getting contract offers, it's really just fairly easy. You just need to make sure you get the right answers. Sometimes slack off your team, sometimes praise them. All depends on if you want to drive. If you don't want to drive, don't be negative all the time because teams don't like whiners either. But be negative enough to gain some interest from the other teams. So should I accept it? Should I decline it? Post your comments right up and do it fast because I'm going to do another race today. And hopefully get this vid out tomorrow. So Lotus, 6.5 million, but I don't care about the money. Next race up is Budapest in Hungary. Very interesting track, the Hungaroring. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and peace out.